The lost name of Earth. For many cycles, the name human was whispered in old stories. Some said humans were once real. Others believed they were only a tale told by forgotten traders and dusty books. But no one had seen a human in over 1,000 years. Most races thought Earth had burned itself out long ago, leaving nothing but silence. In the Galactic Hall of Races, the topic of Earth came up like a joke. Young scholars laughed. Soldiers scoffed. If they were real, where are they now? Asked Commander Vela of the Cinder Fleet. The so-called Terrans are myths, he added, proudly slamming his clawed hand on the steel table. Around him, other captains from different worlds nodded. Only one voice was quiet. It belonged to a young translator named Leanne. She was small, thin, and worked for the archives. She had once found a hidden report, old and buried deep, speaking of a Terran vessel seen moving near the dark edge of space. But when she showed it to her elders, they laughed and told her, "Do not waste time on fairy tales." But Leanne had not forgotten. Something in that old report had stayed in her heart. Do not disturb the ruins of Sol. The sleeping wolf still breathes. Meanwhile, trouble was growing. A small world on the outer rim named Vetra had recently rebelled against the Galactic Council. They claimed independence and refused to pay tribute. The Council, used to blind obedience, declared them rogue and sent a fleet of 20 warships, but when the fleet arrived at Vetra, they found the planet defended by strange satellites and powerful shields. The warships tried to send a warning shot, but the signal was jammed. Then something strange happened. One of the captains reported seeing an old symbol on the defense grid, something no one recognized except for the eldest historian in the fleet. It was a circle with blue and green lines, a forgotten symbol of a world called Earth. Impossible, muttered the historian. That world was lost. The fleet commander gave the order to fire. Legends or not, he said, we will crush them. As the Council warships prepared their assault, space twisted above Vetra. No one expected what came next. Out of nowhere, dark warships blinked into existence, huge, silent, and black as obsidian. No markings. No signals. Just cold, smooth steel. They did not speak. They did not warn. They opened fire. The first barrage vaporized the lead cruiser of the Council fleet in seconds. The second wave destroyed communication relays and tore apart 2 destroyers. The strange ships moved with deadly precision. Their weapons were like nothing anyone had ever seen, fast, clean, brutal. Within 4 minutes, half the Council fleet was gone. The remaining ships tried to retreat, but the black vessels blocked every escape path. Some captains begged for peace. Others screamed in fear. One ship tried to self-destruct to avoid capture. From the unknown fleet, a single message came through all channels. The voice was calm. Male. Human, you were warned. Earth remembers. In the Council chamber, chaos broke out. The High Speaker demanded answers. The historian scrambled for records. Panic spread like fire across the galaxy. The myth of humans was no longer a tale. Earth had returned, and it was angry. The silence before the storm. Panic gripped the Galactic Council. The fleet at Vetra had been wiped out. Only 3 ships survived, and all were damaged, half-blind, and trembling with fear. The reports they sent back were shaky, full of static and confusion. One message stood out: they looked human, but their ships didn't belong to this time. The High Speaker, an old alien named Doral, called an emergency meeting. Every race was invited. Leaders, warriors, and scientists gathered in the Great Dome. The air was thick with fear. Earth is gone, one leader shouted. This must be someone else. No, another replied. The attack was precise, cold, and without mercy. That sounds like the stories of old Terrans. The footage was shown again. Black warships cutting through cruisers like paper. Strange blue energy beams no Council species had ever seen. A voice, steady, calm, saying, "You were warned." Leanne, the young translator, stood silently at the back of the chamber. She watched everything. Her hands trembled, not with fear, but with something else, understanding. She remembered the line from the ancient report, "The sleeping wolf still breathes." She left the chamber without speaking, down in the archives. Leanne began searching again. She pulled out old files, hidden scrolls, even forbidden digital records. Slowly, she pieced together something terrifying. Earth hadn't been destroyed, Earth had disappeared. It had vanished from maps, from signals, from the very network of stars. No one knew how or why. Some believed humans had destroyed themselves in wars. Others thought they had gone mad. But Leanne found patterns, faint movements near old Terran space, abandoned mining stations near Sol, and silent satellites that still orbited invisible planets, and she found something worse. A code.an. Emergency protocol used by old Terran fleets, triggered only if Earth believed it was under threat. The name of the program was Judgment Wake. Back in Council space, fear turned to anger. The High Speaker ordered an investigation, and the military prepared a second fleet, double the size of the last one. 40 ships. Full weapons. And a new mission: find the Terrans and destroy them. But the fear didn't go away. The Second Fleet commander, Admiral Core, was no fool. He watched the Vetra footage 100 times. He studied the black ships, their firing patterns, their speed. This isn't just a war, he whispered to his second-in-command. This is a message. Still, orders were orders. And the fleet left Space Dock, heading toward the Sol sector. They never arrived. Exactly 2 hours into their journey, the fleet vanished from sensors. No calls. No alarms. Just gone. The only trace left behind was a burst of code on the main relay. It repeated 3 times before cutting off: do not seek the wolf. You are prey. Now, the Council knew the truth. Earth hadn't died. It had hidden, and now it had woken up. The forgotten sector whispers of fear spread faster than light. Across the galaxy, traders refused to go near the Sol region. Cargo routes changed. Pirate crews abandoned jobs. Even bounty hunters, known for chasing danger, quietly deleted contracts. Near the old human sector. In the outer colonies, people spoke in hushed voices. The Terrans are real, they said. And they are angry. Some believed Earth had become a ghost world, home to something dark and ancient. Others said humanity had simply evolved, becoming something beyond the known races. The Galactic Council was split. Half wanted peace. Half wanted war. The High Speaker ordered silence: no more missions near Earth space, no more investigations. But that decision didn't last. There were too many questions. Too much fear. So, quietly, a secret task force was formed. 5 elite ships. Stealth tech. No broadcasting. Their mission: scan the Sol system, find Earth, and confirm if the planet still existed. Captain Loro led the mission. Calm, focused, and known for getting answers. His team was the best: scientists, tacticians, and a former codebreaker named January. None of them believed the stories until they saw it with their own eyes. They dropped out of warp near the edge of the Sol system. The stars here were dim, almost cold. Old space. Dead space. But Earth. Earth was there: blue, green, alive, and above it, hundreds of black ships floated in silence. Not orbiting in lines like other fleets, but scattered in perfect, unpredictable patterns. Waiting. Watching. Jan whispered, This isn't defense. This is a trap. They didn't send any signal. Just scanned. Quiet and careful, but the system responded anyway. A signal pinged their ship. Short. Simple: turn back. Captain Loro ordered silence. No reply, he said. We are just observing. Seconds later, all 5 of their stealth systems shut down. One by one, their engines stopped. Lights dimmed. Weapons went offline. The ships floated, powerless. Then, one human warship moved. It wasn't large. Not compared to modern battleships. But it moved like no ship should, turning without inertia, smooth and sharp, like a shark in water. A voice filled their comms again. A woman this time. Clear. Come, you were told not to come. Earth is no longer part of your council. Turn around. Or be unmade. Captain Loro tried to respond, but nothing worked. Suddenly, all 5 ships powered back on. Their systems returned. No explanation. No virus. No damage, just one last message blinked on their screens before the warship vanished in the void: humanity remembers. This galaxy forgot. The task force didn't argue. They jumped back to Council space without a word, and when they arrived, the Council was already in chaos. A dozen border stations had gone silent. Small colonies near Earth's region were gone, no debris, no signals, just gone. One signal had been picked up from a listening post before it vanished. The stars weep. Earth has returned. The Council fractures. The Council chamber was no longer a place of order. Shouts echoed through its halls. Fists slammed tables. Holograms of destroyed colonies blinked in front of wide eyes. Fear had taken root, and it was growing fast. They attacked without warning, yelled a representative from the Exo race. They gave warnings, said another quietly. We didn't listen. The high speaker, pale and shaking, tried to regain control. Enough. We need unity now. Earth is not what it was. We must understand what they have become. But understanding was no longer enough. Dozens of border colonies had vanished. Not bombed. Not invaded. Just erased. Buildings left in place, but not a single person alive. No data, no screams, no escape pods. It was like they were lifted out of reality. One admiral called it a silent purge. Leanne, the young translator, was called to speak. She held up ancient scrolls, faded data logs, and quiet truths. Humans once said peace was their dream, she began. But when peace failed, they prepared for silence. They believed in mercy. Until mercy cost them everything. What does that mean? Someone asked. It means, she said slowly, they planned for this. They didn't vanish. They waited. The room fell quiet. One council member from the Kren species stood up. His planet was close to Sol space. If Earth chooses war, we must act first. That's suicide, said the Zal ambassador. We've lost 2 fleets already. But we can't sit here and die. Whispers of a preemptive strike filled the room. Discussions turned into plans. Some races left the chamber altogether, unwilling to be part of any decision involving war with Earth. The Council was breaking. While they argued, something far more terrifying happened. A human message appeared in the Council's secure relay, something thought impossible. Earth had hacked it. The message was short. One line: you were given 1,000 years of peace. That debt is paid. No voice. Just cold text. Within the hour, 4 more Council colonies went silent. No weapon fire. No distress calls, only silence. Then came the moment that shattered the galaxy. A major Council fleet base, strong, well defended, with over 100 ships, sent out a single distress signal before vanishing. We see them. They are not ships. They are watching. And then nothing. Back in the chamber, chaos returned. The Council had no plan. No weapon strong enough. No ship fast enough. No race united enough, and still, Earth hadn't even shown its full hand. Some began to whisper that Earth had moved beyond war, that humanity was playing with power. No one else understood that their silence for 1,000 years had not been rest, it had been evolution. In the quiet corners of the galaxy, small factions started sending private messages to Earth, offers of peace, tribute, or surrender. None were answered. Earth was not listening. Earth was watching. The Terran reply: the galaxy felt cold now. Every spaceport, every Council world, every outpost near the edge of human space felt like it was holding its breath. Trade routes were frozen. Patrols refused to enter Sol sector. Even pirates went dark. Everyone feared the next move would come from Earth, but Earth didn't move, not yet. Instead, one lone human ship appeared at the Council border. A single, long, black vessel shaped like a blade. No escort. No visible weapons. It didn't fire. It broadcasted. One simple message went across all major communication channels in 100 languages: you erased our name. You erased our past. Now, we write our own. The ship did not land. It remained in place, silent, still, terrifying. The Council scrambled. They didn't know if it was a weapon, a threat, or bait. Dozens of ships were sent to surround it, but none approached. No one dared to be the first to fire. Inside the Council chamber, panic returned. Some begged to attack. Some wanted to speak. Some just wanted to run. Leanne stood again. Her voice was steady now, her fear replaced with purpose. You called humans Myths, she said. But Earth never forgot who it was. We did. They warned us through silence. We ignored them through pride. And now they have come back. The High Speaker, old and tired, turned to her. What do they want? Leanne shook her head. Not land. Not gold. They want truth. Then, the human ship moved. Not fast. Just a slow drift toward Council territory, but the fleet commanders panicked. Orders came too fast. Warnings were ignored. One ship fired a single missile. What happened next shattered the last of the Council's pride. The human vessel didn't dodge. It didn't deploy shields. It simply blinked. One moment it was there, the next, it was inside the firing ship. Inside it. Phased through its hull. A wave of light pulsed out. And the Council warship disappeared. No explosion, no remains, just gone. And once more, the Terran broadcast repeated, you erased our name. You erased our past. Now, we write our own. The message was followed by something new. Coordinates.it was an invitation, not to war.to meet. The Council was torn. Was it a trap? A final test? A chance to surrender? Leanne volunteered. Let me go, she said. They haven't destroyed me yet. Maybe they'll listen. The High Speaker nodded slowly. Then go, child of the archives. If this is how our history ends, let it end with truth. Leanne left aboard a small diplomatic shuttle. No weapons. No guards. As she approached the Terran ship, it opened like a flower in space, petals of steel folding outward, and Leanne entered the unknown. What Leanne saw. Leanne stood inside the human ship, heart pounding. The air was quiet. No guards. No threats. Just silence and a cold, glowing hallway that seemed to stretch forever. The walls shimmered like water, yet felt like steel. Lights pulsed. Gently, blue and white, guiding her forward. She walked slowly, step by step, until she reached a room. It looked like a bridge, but not like any she had ever seen. No control panels. No crew. Just one large window showing the stars, and standing there, one human. A man. Tall, calm, dressed in a simple black uniform. No medals. No weapons. Just quiet eyes filled with something older than rage. Memory. You came, he said softly. Leanne swallowed. I had to. He studied her face. Why? Because we forgot you, she whispered. We buried your name. We told children your people never existed. We made you a myth. The man nodded once. We know. Leanne stepped closer. Why now? Why return? He turned back to the stars. We never left. We watched. We listened. For 1,000 years, we waited, hoping your galaxy would learn. But instead, we watched it make the same mistakes. She lowered her head. The Council sent fleets. We shouldn't have. You didn't believe we were real, the man said. And when you did, you attacked first. Leanne took a breath. Can we fix it? The man was silent for a moment. Then he looked at her again. You want peace now? Yes. Because you're sorry? Or because you're afraid? She looked down. Both. He nodded again. That's honest. That matters. Leanne looked up. What do you want from us? He walked past her and placed a small object in her hand. It was a black cube, smooth and cold. A single symbol glowed faintly on its surface, the ancient emblem of Earth. Give this to your council, he said. It holds our terms. What are they? If your people accept them, he said quietly, they live. If they don't, Earth won't need to fire another shot. Leanne shivered. Is this revenge? No, he said. This is justice. You erased us. We simply returned. Then the ship opened behind her, silently, like a breath. It had taken her to its heart, and now it was letting her go. Before she stepped out, Leanne turned one last time. What do we call you now? The man's voice was soft. Terrans. She returned to her shuttle and flew back toward Council space. The cube in her hand glowed gently, like a fuse waiting for fire. The terms of Earth. Leanne stood before the full Galactic Council. Every seat was filled. Every eye locked on the small black cube in her hand. She had just returned. Her voice was steady, but her skin was pale. The silence in the chamber was heavy. She placed the cube on the central pedestal. With a soft hum, it activated. A hologram rose, blue and bright. A human face. Calm. The same man who had spoken to her on the ship. The message began, "We are Terrans. Once called humans. Once forgotten. Now remembered. For 1,000 years, we stayed silent. We watched. We waited. We saw a galaxy that mocked peace, punished truth, and silenced memory. You erased us from your maps. You erased us from your books. Now, we write again." The council leaders sat frozen. "You attacked us first. Twice. Your fleets are gone. Your colonies are untouched. Only because we chose restraint. Not mercy, restraint. Here are our terms." The hologram changed. Text appeared. Leanne read it aloud. "Sol system is forbidden. No ship may enter without Terran invitation. No council fleets may pass near Terran space. Violation will mean removal. The records of Earth are to be restored. Our name, history, and truth must be told. Any aggression toward Terran allies will be treated as war. This is not a negotiation." The final line of the message was spoken, not written. "We are not your myth. We are your reckoning. Choose your next century wisely." The cube went dark. No one spoke. The council chamber was silent. Even the most aggressive races, those who had demanded preemptive strikes, lowered their eyes. The truth was clear. Earth had returned not with diplomacy, but with dominance, not begging for a seat at the table, but reminding everyone that they had built the table once and could burn it again. Some races accepted the terms that same day. Others resisted, but quietly. Within a week, the council signed a formal acknowledgement: Earth is real. Earth is sovereign. Earth is not to be tested. Leanne returned to the archives, now with a new title, Voice of Terran Accord. She began restoring old texts about humans. She translated their history, their rise, their silence, and how legends became reality with fire. Across the stars, children grew up hearing new stories, stories of Earth, not as myth, but as warning. And somewhere, far beyond the edges of known space, Terran fleets moved in silence. Watching, always watching, not for war, but for truth, because now, the galaxy remembered, and Earth never forgot.